to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another video. Is the match reaction from the Everton Crystal Palace game in the FA Cup. If you were at the game, you will have been one of the only people to be able to watch the game. As it turns out, it's not on any TV channels anywhere across the world. So my match reactions, initial thoughts for the ones who were going to ask how I watched it. I didn't watch it. This is just going off what the radio said. Um, because yeah, strangely, there was no way to watch it, which in 2024 is crazy. It's crazy you can't watch an FA Cup game between two Premier League sides. Absolutely bonkers. But yeah, listening to the radio, which was an experience. I don't think I've ever listened to the radio for a game, which shows my age. And I'll get quite a few of the older people a little bit, not grated, but a little bit like, oh, you damn youngsters. But yeah, listening to the radio, it sounded like like a bit like the first game, to be honest. Um, First half, it was a bit. It sounded like neither team could get hold of the ball much. And then obviously the goal came from Andre Gomez, which was incredible to see. You can see the goal. BBC Match of the Day put it out on their social media, so you can see the goal. Andre Gomez with the first free kick we've scored since like Luca Dean in 2019. I saw somebody commenting on Twitter, um, which is again insane. It's a really nice free kick though that dinks in off the post. Um, Second half, it sounded a little bit more feisty. Calvert-Lewin got a yellow card for a altercation with Joachim Andersen. Sounds like Andersen's lunged at him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin kicked the ball away, which caused a reaction from Andersen that pushed him. The referee gave the yellow card for Calvert-Lewin for kicking the ball away. Palace fans fuming. Chance if you don't know what you're doing to Roy Hodgson because he took Eze off. That's Palace seem to be in a bit of a weird spot at the minute. Fans are not happy. But yeah, overall, from what I've heard, it was a decent performance towards the end. It got a bit leery. Would it be Everton? No, if there wasn't those final minute flutters, those final minute jeopardy moments where you think, oh, Palace are going to score and it's going to be, extra time or penalties or just penalties now. God knows how they do it nowadays. So yeah, it's just absolutely, it wouldn't be Everton without that last minute heart in your mouth moment, flurry. 6 minutes of added time. So typical Everton, it sounded like it was mostly Palace. I will say it sounded like Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a really good game, didn't get a goal, worked really hard, which we know he does. He's been doing that for years. Um, it sounds like the lack of service around him, he struggled a little bit with that, which, I'm not shocked at because before Carlo Ancelotti, that was a problem, was getting service to Calvert-Lewin. I think in an ideal world, when Decore plays, it's perfect. When he doesn't, Andre Gomez, from the sounds of it, had an okay game. I just don't think he's got the legs Decore does. Dobbin came on and played just behind him for a little bit, and it sounds like Dobbin was a bit more comfortable in that. I'm going to assume that when Dobbin plays there isn't as much of a defensive covering as Decore offers you, but obviously there is a bit more of an attacking outlet from Dobbin compared to Andre Gomez, as Dobbin is a striker. And maybe that's the way forward. Maybe that's the way forward. It's a 4-4-1-1. I'm surprised he hasn't tried the 4-4-2 with Beto and Calvert-Lewin again. Although after watching the Luton game earlier on this season, I can understand why we got ran in midfield, completely overrun. That's the only problem. I think Calvert-Lewin and Beto on their own struggle in the current setup, and I think their strengths complement each other. So Beto is much more the legs, the running around, the pressing, the runs in behind. Calvert-Lewin is much more able to hold the ball up, bring everybody into play, contribute with a goal and runs in behind as well, an aerial presence. But I think they'd complement each other well. It's just trying to fit that in where you don't get overrun in midfield. And obviously, somebody has to lose their spot then, and it'd be a bit harsh to let Decore lose it. If Decore is out, he wasn't on the bench today. I think it's fatigue. If he's out though, which is one of the rumors, maybe that's something he tries. Maybe he just stays with this formula because we are creating chances still with it. We're not getting it, we're defensively, we're keeping clean sheets as well, which is important. So yeah, that's food for thought there. But overall, the wider it's a bit hard because I was only listening to it, but the wider situation, we're now through. I think we play Luton next. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. We potentially going to have two very good cup runs, and it is nice. My priority is still the league. I said before this game that it's a bit, and it is the only asterisk on tonight is it's another game that's got to be played, and the league is important. Listen, if we win our appeal, just go straight and we get our points back, either all of them or at least enough of them that we're out of the trouble a bit. Yeah, let's go for the FA Cup and see how far we can take it. Not going to say we're going to win it because not daft, and I'm not overreactionary, but we can give it a good go. There's no harm in giving it a go. So yeah, and like I said, I think in the preview, Sean Dyche is very much the man with an attitude of and he keeps saying this, let's win every game. He keeps saying that, the points tonight, it doesn't matter, it doesn't change him and the team's outlook, which is let's win games. And you can see that in how seriously he takes the cups. He does want to win them. Shout out to Virginia, because apparently he played really, really well, made some great saves. In the first game with Palace in the FA Cup, he made some great saves as well. So shout out to Jal Virginia. It's nice to see him getting a run, and nice to see him actually proving why he should be getting some chances. Another shout out to Mikalenko. Apparently he played well as well, and Amadou Onana also had a good game. Jack Harrison as well apparently worked hard. He did a couple of tries, overhit passes didn't quite work out for him. But he wasn't a player that then hid. He was demanding the ball whenever he could get it. And also Dwight McNeil played the full 90. Fantastic to see after the first game and the injury he got. Everyone thought that was it. Curtains for him for the season. Because it looked quite, they got the stretcher out. It looked quite serious. So fantastic to see that, 2 games time and he's already completing a 90. He apparently did look absolutely shattered. But he'll, there's only one way you get your fitness up, and that's by, completing minutes, completing runs, completing a game. So yeah, my thoughts overall though, guys, it's a win, brilliant. It's another clean sheet, brilliant. We saw some players get some chances, Dobbin, Virginia, which were great to see. On towards Luton as well, which is what it is. It'll be interesting because Luton are, their performances have picked up in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, ultimately, like I said, I hope we win the appeal so we can really give this a go. Otherwise, my attitude with this was always going to be brilliant. But I'm still worried, one eye on the league sort of thing. If we win the appeal, get some of our points back, fantastic. But I don't want to be a Debbie Downer because, this time last season, wins were very short on the ground in all competitions. And I'm not going to come on here and be the Debbie Downer on a win. It's a good win. It's a really good win against the Premier League side. My only other asterisk is I can't believe it wasn't televised anywhere. But alas, what can you do? A great game, great win, great clean sheet. Onwards to the next one. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts if you were listening like myself. Or if you were one of the ones at the ground. Let me know what it was like at the ground. Let me know, if the radio lived up to what you were seeing, the sound listened up to the eye test. But yeah, look forward to reading them. I'll see you guys soon.